Skilla, baby. She 28, telling me I'm still a baby. I get love in Detroit like Skilla, baby. And the thing about your boy.
This is the NFL on EA Sports, and we join you from South Philly, close to 70,000 strong, packing Lincoln Financial Field, the home of the Eagles. It's Jake Elliott ready to get this one kicked off. And we're underway here in South Philly. Covey now on the return. Nice job on the return. He's down close to the 35-yard line. Here's 1st and 10. First carry for Saquon Barkley. And a big run right out of the blocks. He gets forward for 9 on the first play of the game. A good spot here, 2nd and a yard. Once again, it's Barkley. And he'll get the first down there, a pickup of about 5 yards. He'll stay on the ground with Barkley. And he'll get this across midfield as he's brought down, following a pickup of 5. On 2nd down, Barkley. Maybe a couple there. It's 3rd down. He'll try to run here with Barkley. It's a pickup of 12. 1st down, Philadelphia.
Each week coming into the game, every team in the league, Mike, places a huge emphasis on success on their opening drive. But the key to that is sustaining possession, converting on 3rd down. It's exactly what they were able to do here, keeping the ball on the ground.
And he's brought down after a gain of a couple.
He's tackled at the 32-yard line.
Now Jalen Hurts on 2nd down. He's going to tuck it and go.
These are the plays that just drive the defensive coordinator crazy, Mike. You do everything right, but you don't account for the quarterback scrambling. He's able to get out of the pocket and gain enough for a 1st down.
Here's a handoff to Barkley. And a nice run. Get him about 9. It'll bring up 2nd down.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 15-yard line.
They'll run it to the right here with Barkley. And he's taken down on what should be the final play of this 1st quarter.
13 yards on the play. That's good.
So, not much to speak. This opening drive, it has been a work of art. Now, can they put the finishing touches on? It's 1st and goal. Here's Barkley. He slams it in there, and he is in. Taking care of business on the ground to get the score. And, Greg, the big guys up front, they deserve some praise on that one.
Absolutely, Mike. And it really only takes one guy to distort the defense and win his block. But in this case, give credit to the entire unit. They did their job, and they reward their offense with a touchdown.
So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. From the 6, here comes a return. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start.
At their own 28-yard line.
Set to go now on 1st and 10. On play action, here's Hurts. Open man downfield is Brown. And it'll be taken down, but it takes them across midfield down to the 40-yard line.
Everyone talks about all the physical qualities to play quarterback in the NFL, Mike, and of course that's a given, but it's really the cerebral approach to the game that separates the best from everybody else, and I think both of those things were on display there, as he did not only a great job of finding the vulnerabilities of the back end, but then once his guy was there, it was that arm talent that put the ball in the exact right spot to allow his guy to make the big play.
On 2nd down, Hurts. Laying out, and he made the catch. What a play. Big-time play with Hurts and Brown. And even 30 yards. So it took just 3 plays, but just like that, they have 1st and goal. They'll run with Barkley. And he's not going to get in. In fact, he'll lose yardage. They push him backwards.
Sometimes you run all those big bodies out there, you kind of tip your hand. I always love going big jumbo personnel for a play action. In this case, they keep the ball on the ground. The defense knew it was coming, and they suffer a loss.
2 minutes remain. First half in a 7-0 game. We'll come back to Philadelphia right after this. From back at the 2 now, here's 2nd and goal. One more time, they try Barkley. Trying to push the pile forward. He didn't even get to the 1-yard line. They stop him short. No gain.
I typically like to see the play-action pass on the early downs, Mike. Now they find themselves on 3rd down. The defense is more prepared for the pass. They get stopped twice with the run. Do they go back to it a 3rd time and take their chances?
They'll run with Barkley. And he will take this one across into the end zone. So on 3rd and goal, they run it in. Sometimes, Greg, that's 4-down territory. They didn't need to do it on 4th down. Taking care of it on the 3rd down for the touchdown.
Yeah, and when you find yourself down here this close, Mike, you have to finish these drives off. I'm with you. I think he was going to give his back 2 shots there to punch it in, but he only needed 1.
Each team 1 possession, each team a score. 7-7 as they kick it off. Covey now on the return. Oh, nice return, but he takes a big shot at the end of it. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Hurts. That's complete to his big tight end, Dallas Goedert. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down.
This is such a critical moment in the game, that middle 4 minutes, the final 2 minutes of the first half, and then the possession to come out of the halftime break. So maximizing this possession here before halftime is critical. See if you can get a drive starter. See if you can get an easy completion to kickstart a 2-minute mode, and that's what they got here. Now they got to see if they can go down and steal some points.
That's good for an Eagles. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Hurts looking to throw on 1st down. And he'll just get rid of this. Smart play to throw it away, and that'll set up 2nd down.
And this is what happens when you can pair a really good pass rush with a really stingy secondary. Marrying the 2 together, not only to change his launch point, but not give the quarterback anywhere to go with the ball.
On the handoff, this is Barkley. Only a couple on that one. It'll set up 3rd down. Here's the timeout for Philadelphia. That is their 2nd, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in this 2nd quarter. They need 8 as they come up for 3rd down. Dotson, the man in motion. On 3rd down, it's Hurts. Well covered on the sideline, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nakobe Dean.
So not a lot of yards on the return, Mike, but that's okay. The number one thing, end up with the ball in your hands. And in this case, mission accomplished, and his guys are headed off the field to celebrate.
Hurts to the air on first down. This one to his big tight end, Uzomah. And he's out of bounds all the way into enemy territory, past midfield. A huge play just before the half. 41 yards. On first down, it's Hurts. He connects downfield to Doxson. And he's into the end zone.
You hear coaches, you hear commentators, everybody talks about that middle four, Mike, the final 2 minutes of the second quarter and the first 2 minutes of the third quarter. Here they are now. They go down and they steal a late touchdown to end the half. Remember, they're going to get the ball first coming out of the break.
Elliott on now for the PAT. He's got it. And the Eagles will move out to a 14-7 lead. Very little time remaining in this first half as this kick is away. Covey now on the return. He'll get across the 20, mark him at the 22-yard line. On first and 10, it's Hurts. That's caught Saquon Barkley. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield.
That's good for Eagles. First and 10 at the 48.
On first down, it's Hurts. He finds Devontae Smith. And they'll take this down inside the 35. Here's Jake Elliott now to try the field goal. This one from just under 50 yards. Elliott's kick is good. So we've hit halftime, and it's the visitors, the Eagles, out on top. As we get you down to Florida, Orlando specifically, for the coaches, Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Third quarter set to commence, and we're back underway here on EA Sports. The return team going to let that one go. It'll go through the end zone. It's a touchback. 3 tight ends in the game to start the drive. He'll start on the ground with Barkley. And he'll get forward for a couple. Jordan Davis, the man in the middle, brings it to an end. From out of the gun, they give it to Barkley. And he's going to be taken down right at midfield.
This is one of those cases where having high-end speed in the backfield can be such a game changer. The offensive linemen don't need to hold their blocks quite as long. You give this guy a little bit of a crease, and man, he is gone.
They run out of the gun with Barkley. Not much happening there, just a short game. Here's a 2nd and 9. Hurts working in the pistol. There's the tight end, Grant Calcaterra. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
Just seems like every year, Mike, the tight end position just continues to grow within the passing game and establishes a bigger and bigger role. And listen, I know I'm biased, but if you want to have a good passing game, you better have a good tight end.
A pistol snap back to Hurts. That's taken in by Brown. And it'll be taken down at the 25-yard line.
The drag route is certainly not the most complicated route on the route tree, but a really nice job there using the scheme to create separation. He did a really nice job there working across the middle of the field as he made himself open.
And he'll get back maybe to the line of scrimmage, but probably going to be a loss of a yard here.
With how fast they were all over that play, you almost wonder, Mike, was there a pre-snap tell? Did they know that play was coming? Because I'll tell you, that defense was on it from the start.
Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. To throw is Hurts. Looking for his tight end on the corner route. He's got it. That's the second time they connect on this drive. This one good for 13 yards.
Talk about a thing of beauty. Mike, did you see how many tight ends were on the field on that last play? They call it 13 personnel because there's one running back, 3 tight ends, 1 wide receiver. So everybody on defense is thinking run. They catch them off guard a little with the pass. And they take advantage of it with a big gain downfield.
Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming.
63.
Second down and 3.
73.
A run up the middle with Barkley. And he's going the wrong way. Dropped back at the 7.
You know, at this point, the defense has to sell out and stop the run. You know exactly what the offense is trying to get accomplished by keeping the ball on the ground. But now the question remains, are they willing to take some risk here and put the ball in the air on 3rd down? Or do they play it safe and keep running the clock by keeping the ball on the ground?
And that is incomplete.
Great pass rushers live for 3rd down, especially when they know the offense has to be one-dimensional. And this is a great example here, Mike. They can just pin their ears back and go. They know there is no threat for run. It is a must-pass situation, and for this offense, they're lucky it didn't result in a sack.
So now, Jake Elliott, an important kick coming up. This to stretch the lead to a touchdown. And this one right down the middle. It's good. A big 3 points as they extend their 4th quarter lead.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. First and 10. On the ground, it's Barkley to start the drive. And he'll bring this across the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 4. Here's 2nd and 6. They'll run it here with Saquon. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one.
And with that run, this back is closing in on almost 100 yards for the game today, Mike. He's had a lot of those good chunk plays. This defense has not had a great answer for him so far.
On 1st and 10, it's Barkley. And the defense was ready for him this time. Did not have the same room to run. That one's no gain. So, 2 minutes to play here in the 2nd half. We'll come back and finish this one off after this. They'll send a tight end in motion. Here comes Barkley. And he nearly got free. But as it is, gain of 6, and it sets up 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. Short pass taken in by the tight end.
Nothing a quarterback loves more, Mike, than being able to pick up a first down without being forced to push the ball downfield and force it past the line to gain. He settles for the underneath check down. He's confident that his receiver is going to pick up the rest after the catch.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts left. It's 1st and 10. Hurts now. He bought as much time as he could, but he will finally be taken down. So the Eagles will use their first timeout here. The stoppage comes with just over a minute to play in this one.
Certainly hasn't been their best game in terms of rushing the passer, but you find yourself with a lead here in the 4th quarter. No better time for that pass rush to come alive and see if they can close this game out.
Dotson, the man in motion. To throw on 2nd down is Hurts. And that would be the dagger. It's intercepted.
Next to some of the northernmost waters of the beautiful Chesapeake Bay. We're at M&T Bank Stadium near Baltimore's Inner Harbor. Jake Elliott is out and ready to kick this one away. And we're off from Baltimore. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. The drive begins with Henry. He gets forward, and that's about 4 yards. Brought down on the effort by Quinyon Mitchell. A dose of the hurry-up offense here. Lamar off to play fake. An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete. So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. They go play fake with Jackson. Andrews with the catch. And he's a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before going out. 35 on the pickup. And that's good for a Ravens first down.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Here's Henry running left. And they bring him down at the 25-yard line after surrendering some good yardage. Working quickly here.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 25-yard line.
This is Henry on 2nd. And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop. Offense in the hurry up here.
13.
Working inside the red zone. That's incomplete left side. That one intended for Mark Andrews. And now they face 2nd down.
That is normally a gimme for this offense, these short throws. But the defense, well, they had just enough influence on that play to force the incompletion.
Play action now with Jackson. Intercepted in the end zone. Cooper DeJean in to pick it up. And the Eagles force the turnover on the first series of this game.
Well, that's it right there. That's the resilience and the mental toughness that every coach wants to see from his defense. Not a great spot for him. Backed up close enough that they're going to get shots taken in the end zone. But instead of collapsing under pressure, they rose up and they created the takeaway.
He'll get this one to Brown. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
New set of downs for him at the 38. They run it with Saquon Barkley. And they're able to grind him to a halt after a pickup of 4. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Here's another carry for Barkley. And it's going to be about a 3-yard pickup in the end. Stopped by one of the league's best tacklers, Roquan Smith. Ravens bring an extra DB out there. 3rd down coming up. They go to Barkley again. 1st down and more past the 40. And he's going to be taken down at the 28. It's a gain of 27 yards to move the chains.
A gain of 27 on the play. 1st down, Philadelphia. That's the end of the 1st quarter.
Ready now for our 2nd quarter. The Eagles have the football. They're looking at yet another 1st and 10 on this drive. Running right, it's Barkley. And he'll get it down to the 24-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 6. Handoff headed right, Barkley. Doesn't get much beyond the line, a yard at most. The rangy Kyle Hamilton getting there for the stop. They managed a single yard that time. They're going to have to solve 3rd down and 4. Here's Saquon. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Just 1 yard on the play. That leaves him with 4th and 4. Jake Elliott out to put up 3 for the Eagles. Now the Ravens are going to use the first of their timeouts. And they'll have 2 left to work with here in the 1st half.
A 39-yard attempt.
The kick by Hopkins is good. And that's going to get them on the scoreboard.
I never saw a play script that ended with a field goal. It was always a touchdown that you wanted. But that's 3 points, and it's enough to give them the lead.
And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Hey, report! Report! What is it? Yo.
Now Jackson off the play action. Bails out of the pocket. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. Offense up to the line fast.
2nd and 18 at the 22-yard line.
That brings us to the 2-minute warning at the Inner Harbor. The Ravens with a lot of work to do to get into scoring range.
DC, ready?
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Trying again following the sack. Vacates quickly left side. He's on the move. And he rips off good yardage, but it will not move the chains.
You know, that's a situation. May have worked out better if he'd thrown the ball. His running ability gets him a chunk of yards, but still some work to do to get that first down.
A less than ideal 3rd and 8 here. Play action. Here's Jackson. Flushed out of the pocket. And they get to him way behind the line on this one and take him down. Timeout taken by the Eagles. That's going to be their first. As they'll get together and discuss with 4th down coming up.
Yo. Hey, middle.
Play fake. Jackson. He's going to push one deep down the right. It's another first half mistake. He's intercepted again. Picked off by C.J. Gardner-Johnson. And the Eagles will take over along the midfield stripe after the interception and return. Wow, an aggressive choice to go for it on 4th and that kind of distance, and an equally aggressive play in coverage to pick that pass off.
Yeah, that down and distance, you're not running it, right? Too far to get to the stick, so that defense had all eyes on the quarterback. They knew that pass was coming, and it's one thing to know it, it's another thing to execute it and go take it away. That's a big momentum swing for this defense.
First down throwing for Hurts. Sheds off a rusher. Nowhere to go with it, so he just throws it away. So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. Ravens swoop it in, and they bring him down. Now we're going to have a timeout taken by Baltimore. It's 2nd. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. Got to figure out this 3rd down here. Philadelphia going to spend its 2nd timeout. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. Defense looking to defend the marker on 3rd down. Hurts now from the gun. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Nice work by the defense on that drive, Brock, as it looks like they're going to get off the field here with a 3 and out.
Yeah, kept them from generating any sort of momentum to give this drive legs. We know offenses, they've got to see the chains move to get it going. That forcible hit knocked the ball loose.
And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10.
180. 180.
Interception last drive doesn't deter them. They're going right back to the air. Throwing on the run, deep, big gain downfield. And he breaks into enemy territory before being stopped on a huge gain.
One thing we don't have in football is we don't have that radar gun. But if we did, Kate, this is the kind of throw, when you throw it that deep outside the numbers, that requires a serious fastball, serious arm strength, and he just showed it off.
Forced out to his right. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down.
You know, as you can see here, things broke down a little bit. He tried to find a connection, but he just could not get on the same page. I'll tell you what I do like about that throw, though. He didn't risk an interception, and he put it out of bounds instead.
Buying some time left. And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down.
That's just a total team effort right there, Kate. Defense was relentless on that play. Some of them chased him from the pocket, the others, well, they took away the easy throwing lane, and it really influenced that incompletion.
Jackson now on 3rd. Headed out right. On the run right, throwing deep down the side. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Baltimore. I think we actually saw him call it early there, Brock. He made that throw, and then he signaled it was gonna be a touchdown. Like a guy calling it before his three-pointer goes through the net.
Oh, you mean like Larry Legend Bird
Ooh.
in the three-point shooting contest in the 80s?
Or maybe like a
you-
Tyrese Maxey, you know, but whatever.
Well, the kids aren't alive, I get it. And they weren't alive in the 80s. They didn't see Larry Legend do it, but he did. And he anticipated, just like the quarterback.
Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. On the return, Britton Covey. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
First and 10, but only time left for maybe a couple of plays here.
Great. Delta.
Looking to throw. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Brandon Stevens has it. And the Ravens will start with it in the fourth after an interception to end the quarter.
I've not yet in my lifetime come across a defender who hasn't told me how great an offensive player they were back in the day. Oh, you should have seen me as a running back or wide receiver. Well, right there, that defender showed some of that background. A brilliant job of getting into the open field and setting his offense up for success.
That brings us to halftime. We'll get a break as our teams make their adjustments and then return with more of the NFL on EA Sports in just a little bit. Back from the break, I'm Kate Scott, joined by Brock Heward, and we are just moments away from the beginning of our second half. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. Covey now to return this. They'll begin from the 36 as the returner's brought down.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
Eagles in a good spot here as they come up to the line, first and 10.
Great.
On the play fake, it's Hurts. That's complete inside the 35-yard line. He does it, touchdown, Philadelphia. The Eagles cut into the lead coming out of halftime. It's a Devontae Smith touchdown. Point after added on by Elliott. And the Eagles tie things 10-10. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. Third quarter starts with a run from Henry. And he flips the field for them before being taken down. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. First down, and they go right back to him. And they beat him to the edge. That run stopped back at the line. A dose of the hurry-up offense here.
No gain on the play. Brings up
They go play action here.
at the 16-yard line.
Complete out to the right side. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss. Working quickly here.
The 19-yard line.
Here he is on third and long. Rolling out to his left. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him.
By Jordan.
Offense in the hurry up here.
A 6-yard loss. It's fourth
He's
down.
back to throw. And on fourth down, that one won't work. It's incomplete.
Intended for a save.
And a surprising fourth down call does not yield a first. This doesn't get there. It's a turnover on downs.
Hey, I am all for aggression. You get 4 downs, go for it. But I do have to wonder here, Kate, after being denied once again, is there going to be a trust level on that sidelines to go for it the next time they get this shot?
On first down, Hurts. That pass complete to Goddard. They'll get 18 yards there. And that's good for an Eagles first down.
A gain of 18 on
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
First down, a run with Barkley. And they get there to take him down right around the 41. Give him 15 yards on the pickup there. And that's a Philadelphia first down.
And an Eagle first down.
Straight ahead, here's Barkley. Good little rip there. Looks like about 6. That's Odafe Owe with a stop. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4. Now the Ravens are going to use the first of their timeouts, as that'll leave them with just 2 to use the rest of the way. This, our last play of the quarter. On second down, here's Barkley. And the defense is all over this one for a big... Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. This finds Smith. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. The rookie from Clemson in on that stop.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
Got all of it, and this is good. And they take the lead in the 4th quarter.
That field goal gives them the lead for the moment, Kate, but you don't feel comfortable when you look up at that scoreboard. This one isn't over, and that lead certainly isn't safe.
And it bounces out of the end zone, so they'll set up shop at the 30. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Henry gets it here to start the drive. And the power play up the gut only results in 2 yards. Offense up to the line fast.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd
From the 32.
at the 32.
He rolls to his right. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. And he'll be across midfield and close to that 45 before going out. It's a gain of 22. And that'll be first down, Baltimore. New set of downs for him from the 46. They send Aguilar in motion left. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. Moving quickly, trying to get set again.
A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 at the Eagles' 48-yard line.
2nd and 12 behind the sticks. He's on the move. Complete Derrick Henry.
Timing on routes change when you leave the pocket. It really does become, well, the schoolyard. And you got to scramble around. What a great adjustment to still deliver a clean ball.
This drive in jeopardy. Here's a 3rd and 10. Back to throw it. Bails out of the pocket quick. This could decide things. It's intercepted. Darius Slay has it. And the Eagles get the football back across midfield before going down inside the 45-yard line on the return.
You know, Kate, once you've thrown a couple picks, it's easy to become check down Charlie, right? Just throw it underneath and not take any more risk because you don't want to throw what he just did, his 3rd interception of the game. It's time to protect the football at all costs. And if not, well, that backup better get ready.
They run it with Saquon. And he won't win the race to the outside. That run's bottled up at the line. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10. Now before we reach the 2-minute warning, we've got a timeout. That's the second one used by the defense in this half. Second and 10, need to get some positive yardage here.
No touch that. No touch.
Hurts setting up to throw. Throw came out right as the defense got to him. That's an incomplete pass. Timeout taken by the Eagles. That's going to be their first. May still have 2 to work with in this final quarter.
Great.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down.
No touch.
He'll throw it. They did it. He made the interception. And the Ravens have some new life in the 4th. That's the 2-minute warning here from Baltimore. Ravens trail by a field goal. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10.
Hey. 180.
Setting up to pass. They left him wide open. It's complete. And he does quite a bit of damage before they finally take him down.
Man, I love that effort, adding as much as possible to that catch while earning the 1st down. That's called yards after catch, and it's what coaches want from all their pass catchers on the roster.
Got that chip shot in their back pocket to tie it. A chance at the lead here first, though. 1st and goal. Down to a knee, and we're going to see if that defense chooses to expend one of its final 2 timeouts. Philadelphia going to spend its 2nd timeout. Still one more in their pocket to use. He goes to a knee as time winds down in this one. The Eagles decide to spend their 3rd and final timeout. And now they're powerless to stop that clock with a timeout at least. They've held him out twice. Here we go. 3rd and goal. Now to throw. Vacates quickly left side. The shot to the end zone is incomplete. That throw doesn't lead to 6. And now it's decision time on 4th and goal.
Middle.
Looking to throw it. Flushed out of the pocket. That could be it, folks. It's intercepted.
Red zone defense. It is a part of the practice week at least twice, Thursdays, Fridays, even tuning it up on Saturdays, because it's all about protecting in the red zone. And not only protecting points, but taking the ball away
Turn the lights on.
Every day cannot stay the same. Yeah. But one thing that's never gonna change. Forever, ever, forever, ever, forever. I forever reign. Forever, ever, forever, ever, forever, forever. The people they make go and dollars they make grow and everything's for show, but I will remain cold and eager. The queen don't talk to the meager, a leader. Who you know in the Zephyr? Been through the trenches, gutter fields and stenches. Gone ball, they filling up the benches. Half-court shooter, spitting from the medulla. Life for the game, they talking like I'm the doula. Nobody want a doula, defend the throne. I'm a dog in the zone and your man's is bones. I don't fear the stones, I flash the paws.
Philadelphia is known for having some very vocal fans, and nearly 70,000 of them are letting their voices be heard already. Welcome inside Lincoln Financial Field.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Jake Elliott is out and ready to kick this one away. And we're underway from Philadelphia. On the return, it's Rondale Moore. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line.
Rondale Moore on the return. The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Ready up.
All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10.
Come on, set. Let go.
Drive begins with a run. It's Robinson. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. Brought down on the effort by Quinyon Mitchell. A dose of the hurry-up offense here.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
2nd and 8. And that one's behind him. That's incomplete. Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here.
19 Lions. Tag.
Penix working from the gun. He has the first over the middle. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop. That one goes for 31 yards and a 1st down when all is said and done.
Just about every offense since the beginning of time, since the forward pass, Kate, has loved a tight end that could stretch the middle of the field. Man, I remember as a kid watching Kellen Winslow Sr. dice up right here between the hashes. And what a difference it can make for an offense.
He's only going to manage to get back to the line. That's Nolan Smith there for the stop. No progress on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Made it all look so simple, didn't he? That linebacker sorting right through the traffic, finding the runner. That's instincts come to life.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Man in motion here. They go play action. Here's Penix. An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete. So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Penix here from the gun. Got a man, it's London. All the way, that's an Atlanta touchdown! The Falcons start the game off right with a 6-0 lead. Drake London with the touchdown. He finds one of his great receivers, Brock, and they are off to a great start to begin this ball game.
Yeah, it's such a positive offensively when you can go find not just a field goal, but a touchdown on that opening drive. And defensively, this starts to shake the foundation of your preparation and makes you wonder what's in store.
Extra point by Koo is up and good. And the Falcons will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Out to kick it away, here's Pinion. And the kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. Touchback, this drive starting from the 30. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10.
Great. Set. No touch.
Starting on the ground here with Barkley. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there. Working quickly here. Here's Barkley. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks.
You know, the elite running backs in this league, they don't just see what's right in front of them. You set up big runs like this because they see what's behind them. That's called extraordinary vision and extra yards.
Going to the ground again on 1st. What a hit! He gets flattened to the ground. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Changing things up. They're going to throw now. That's caught. It's Saquon Barkley.
Sure showed off some mobility on that play. Got outside the pocket and easily found an open man.
And the Falcons get a 5th defensive back out there. 3rd down coming.
No touch it. No touch.
Operating from the gun. Here's Hurts. That's caught for the 1st. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. The big play nets them 17 yards. And that's good for an Eagles 1st down.
This entire play, Kate, depends on how well he can separate from his man. You get man-to-man coverage, it's really about 2 things, separation and trust. Because QBs want to throw it before he breaks. That's the trust. And then they got to believe that
Ready now for our 2nd quarter. The Eagles have the football. They're looking at yet another 1st and 10 on this drive. Barkley on the shotgun handoff. And he's brought down for a loss.
You know, that's so hard for me, Kate. That's the type of effort that deserves better when it comes to the results. It's going to show up as a negative run on the stat sheet, but that was not the runner's fault. He did all he could to fight to get back to the line, but this defense just kept swarming.
On the play fake, it's Hurts. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
No touch it.
On 3rd down, it's Hurts. And someone stepped in. It's intercepted. That's Justin Simmons. And the Falcons take over after forcing the first turnover of this ball game. Correct me if I'm wrong, partner, but I think it looked like that was actually the primary read on the play, but it's picked off before the ball could get there.
Kate, I don't think there's any question about it. You know, the college game is a game of scheme. The NFL game is a game of matchups. And that was a matchup that they wanted and worked on all week to get their running back in a one-on-one. The problem was the defense was ready for it and took it away.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. Pass for 11, Ready?
Penix on first down. Escapes the pocket. Play didn't break how they wanted it, and he throws this away.
A little bit of chaos, right? I mean, play breaks down, trying to find a connection and get on the same page, just couldn't do it. I'll tell you this, though, and what I do like is you live to play another down. You don't risk the interception, and you throw it out of bounds.
On second down, Robinson. And this almost ended worse, but he gets a yard out of it. C.J. Gardner-Johnson there on the tackle. Third down, it's Penix. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. They were looking for him again, Brock, and for a moment, we thought he had another catch. But then that contact knocked the football from his hands.
Kind of become a victim of his own early success. Not too different, Kate, than a pass rusher that gets a sack. You know what happens? Got to slide to him, got to chip to him. You get a receiver that gets it going like this, you know more contact and more focus is coming his way.
Fourth down, here's Penix. And it's going to be incomplete. Couldn't connect to extend the drive. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense.
Do you think maybe, just maybe, there's a chance of having too much confidence offensively? That's not a spot you want to see a team going for it on fourth down. And now it puts their defense right on the hook to try and pick them up after that miscue on fourth.
Has some space inside the 15. It's a Philadelphia touchdown. The Eagles can tie it up in the second after cutting into the lead. Saquon Barkley, the touchdown. So great work by the running back there. Brock found just a little bit of space, and he took advantage all the way for 6.
Big time. I mean, so big time. You know, and you hear running back coaches, Kate, say this. They'll say slow to explode through. And he explodes all the way for the touchdown.
Elliott's all set for the kickoff. And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go. 70 Timberwolves. Ready?
From the gun, it's Robinson. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. Josh Sweat making the stop. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4.
That's what I call a rhythm starter right there. The offenses love execution and plays like that on first down, Kate, because now that playbook is wide open. All options on the table for 2nd down.
2nd and 4. That one's complete to London. And he goes out close to that 45-yard line. That play goes for 8 yards, and it keeps this drive moving.
Kate, if you and I took a whirlwind tour and watched young quarterbacks, the hardest route to complete is this one. A lot of them could throw go routes and slants and drags and in cuts, but throwing that out route takes some time, takes some precision, and a whole bunch of trust between QB and receiver.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10.
65. Let's go.
From the shotgun, Penix. Able to get it to Moore. And they make the tackle at the 38. A very productive play from the rookie QB out of Washington. That gets them a 1st down.
Time and again, receivers will tell their quarterbacks, just give me a chance. Just give me a chance. Just throw it up and give me the opportunity. Well, in this case, with even 2 defenders trying to cover that wide receiver, couldn't get it done.
1st and 10, a run to Robinson. And he's still looking for the play that sparks the ground game as that one stopped for a loss. Timeout taken by the Eagles. That's going to be their first. As they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down. Penix now to throw. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Quinyon Mitchell. And he takes this one back for the pick six. But we all know getting the interception is the important thing, Brock. But how about this guy having the wherewithal to transition into a really nice return to then get the touchdown out of it, too?
Yeah, that's a great point. We talk about it with receivers, right? Getting vertical right away after making a catch. Same thing for these defenders when they make a pick. They secure the football, sure, but instantly they go back to their offensive days. They want that touchdown, and they want a moment they won't forget.
A quick chance at redemption after that pick six as it's sent away. Trying to locate it. Oh, no! He lost it! And he's going to take this return out of bounds. And it bounces out of bounds for the touchback, so no harm, no foul. First and 10 now from the 30. Fresh off the pick, here's Penix. Throw reeled in by London. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. Penix now on first down. Completes, it's Bijan Robinson. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. Now the Falcons trying to get everyone up and set here. On first down, here's Penix. It's another first half mistake. He's intercepted again. And the Eagles are finally tackled on the return after taking it all the way back to the opposing 40. Wow, what a play. Makes the pick and did some major damage with that return. And in the end, it's the quarterback himself who had to make the tackle and prevent a possible score.
Not a lot of tackling drills for quarterbacks. You don't like to do those, but that's desperation time. You know if you make that critical mistake, well, you've got to do your job as a quarterback and at least secure that tackle. Heck of a return, but the QB keeps it from a touchdown.
And he goes down. The Falcons got to him. Philadelphia going to spend its second timeout. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half.
How about that? First sack of the game, and it comes from an unlikely source right out of that secondary. And I think that played a part in just how he was able to get there, the disguise. They weren't expecting him to be sent on a blitz, and catching him off guard is exactly what enabled him to make that play.
Smith pulls this one in along the sideline. And he takes it across the 30 before heading out. It's a 21-yard gain. And that's a Philadelphia.